Hello! So for this tutorial, we will go through the inventory system. So for this part, we will discuss about picking up drop items and storing those drop items in a list. And additionally, we'll be discussing about billboarding. So let's go! Okay, so we'll start first with billboarding. So with billboarding, the player, or the objects rather, will be able to face the player wherever they go. So as you guys noticed in the last tutorial, we are using 2D assets in a 3D space, and we noticed that they're only facing in one direction, so they only look flat. But we created a code that will make 2D objects face the player as if it's a 3D object, so it won't look awkward. So let's go through the code. Okay. So here's the code. So this is a very short code. So basically, it's with inside a update method. So meaning it will continuously run the code per frame, and inside of the method is transform.rotation. So it will get the transform.rotation component of the object that it is attached to, and then its rotation will be from this calculation or equation rather. So pretty much what it does is that it gets the rotation of the camera where the player is, and wherever the camera is facing, the object will rotate to that direction, so making the object face the player or where the camera is. So as you can see, let's see in this object, so pretty much you're gonna drag and drop the script to the object that you want it to face the player whenever the player is. So it won't be flat or just facing one direction, but rather it will follow where the player is. So that's it for billboarding. So we'll go through inventory next. Okay, so for the inventory system, we'll be going through these 3 scripts here, but first we'll go through the item script. So for the item script, what we have here is basically a class of item, and inside this class we have 3 properties that we'll be using for now. So one is a public string property, which is called item name, and then public sprite, item icon, and then the item quantity. So we'll be defining it as 1 at the moment because 1 item equals to 1 quantity. And for the sprite or item icon, this will be used for our inventory UI, which I'll show later on how we will make it appear in a UI. And then of course we'll add the item name. So that's it. And that script should be inside your drop items, which I discussed on the previous tutorial. So whenever we destroy an object, it will drop something, or it will drop a certain item. So let's check our assets. Hold on. The assets also, we assign again, we'll the drop, and then we assigned it as a prefab, so it will just instantiate whenever there's an object that is destroyed, and like there's like respective items that is dropped, like let's say wood when you destroy trees, then yarn when you killed a rabbit, meat when you killed a bear and a pig, or a pig, and slime when you gather in a slime, stone when you destroy rocks. So as you can see here, so all you have to do is in that prefab you'll be dragging your item script, or add your item script in its inspector. So as you can see here, our stone has that script already, and you can see the properties that we assigned inside that script or inside the item class that we get to assign in the inspector. So stone item icon, which is stone item icon that I got from the asset store, then quantity equals to 1. So yeah, you assign each prefab that you have with the item script, because we will use that class later on in our inventory system script, which I'll discuss in a bit. Okay, so we'll get through our inventory system script next. So here we have a script for our inventory system. So I'll explain the whole bit as much as I can. So first we go through these properties or values. So here we have a list. So at the moment, because we don't have a UI yet, so I decided to use a list where it will store every item that we picked up. So one index or one item inside the list represents an item's name, that item's quantity, and that item's price, which we discussed earlier on. So pretty much it will put the properties of that item class that we created early on in that list. And it will just do so, it will just keep on adding to the list rather, the more things that we pick up. So pickup range, so that I set it to 0.01. Somehow it's fitting that way. And we have our max inventory size, so a constant int, so that we can have a maximum number of items we can only pick up, and once it reached that maximum number, it won't be able to pick up any more items. Okay, so moving on to our update method. So inside our update method, we have this. So if input get key down key code.i show inventory. So well, it explains it. So whenever the user press down I, it will call the show inventory method. So for our show inventory method, it's this one. So like I said, we have no UI, so everything that our inventory has will show via console, which I'll demonstrate later on. And here we have debug inventory content, so it will loop through the item or the inventory list rather, and in every list it will, or in every item in that list, it will show the item name, the item icon, and the item quantity. And then this is for the quantity of the item. So we have another method for that. So count item quantity stone. So pretty much what the method does, that it will count every item that is named wood or named yarn, stone, slime, and meat. And it will return the count of that item that is existing within the list. Okay, so that's for the show inventory method. So next, here we have a checker for if we have a pickable item or item that we can pick up. So here we have the range of how far it should detect for an item to pick up. And if there is an item that is detected in that range, it will loop. It will do a loop if the item has the tag of meat or yarn or wood or stone or slime. And if that item does have that tags, one of the tags, it will call pickup item hit collider.object. So it will pick up that item. and a break so that it can only pick up one at a time. So let's go with the pickup item method. Okay, so here's the pickup item method. So here, so it gets the game object and it is called item in this method. So here we have a checker if the inventory is full. So again, max inventory size is set to 15, and if it reaches 15, then the inventory will be full and it won't be able to pick up that item. Otherwise, if the inventory isn't full, then it will go through this if statement. So item info equals item.getComponent item. So this is our item.cs script. Remember the item class. So what it does, it will get what's inside that class item, then it will store in this variable item info. So if item info isn't null, then it will add item info in the inventory, which is our list. And then there will be a debug log that we'll be able to pick up that item name. So this, we will discuss this later on, but this is the code for the UI. So it will find the UI and it will update the UI. So once we add it to inventory, it will destroy the item. So it won't be appearing in our game environment. Okay, so that's pretty much what covers in our inventory system. So to summarize it, this code is responsible for adding items in our list. And then I guess I'll do a little demonstration. Hold on. Okay, so since we'll be going through the console first, so let me expand this. Open our console, clear that out, and then for the canvas, let's disable that for now. And if we hit play, okay, so let's say wood. So there's wood, then I pick it up. So as you can see in our console, wood, we picked up wood. So that's from our pickup method, like I discussed. And just continue to do so. Then let's say slime. So pick up the slime. So picked up slime. Then let's go with meat. Then we have some rocks, stone. Oh, oops. Then a yarn, since that's included in our drop items. So as you can see, we have wood, slime, meat, stone, yarn. So from our code, I'm assume that all of these are added in a list. So if we press I, whoops, okay, now spoiler, we have the UI, but we'll explain how that happens. But for now, as you can see, we can see the inventory contents. So we did pick up wood, slime, meat, stone 1 being the sprite, yarn, string, and also here's the counter. So we did have a method for counting how many items are named stone, how many items in the list are named yarn. So it did loop through that, and the count, it should be correct since all of these are inside the inventory list. So let's say what happens if we maximize the inventory, so I'll just keep on picking up wood. This might take a while. Let's see this big rock. It should drop 3. There's 3 rocks. The other one is hiding behind the other one. And wood. There, 3 wood. Okay, now we cannot pick this up because our inventory is full. So there should be a warning there. So it reached the full capacity of our inventory, which is 15 items. So if we click 1 again, so there, it did update the count of the wood and stone since the last time that we did call the show inventory method. It was only 3, and then the stone count was 2. So it only showed the updated count of the stone and wood, but it's okay because since it's only a console, it doesn't necessarily have to show whatever is not updated yet, or whatever is not updated. So rather it just showed stone and wood, which is fine. What's important is that it's able to know if the inventory is full or not. So as you can see, our UI, so it is full of items. So how to do the UI, we'll go through that next. So let's end the game. Also, I forgot, I'm sorry. So I did explain the inventory system. We did go through that, but I did explain where to add the script. So the inventory system, since it does have a method that where it will detect, or where it has a range where it will find items that it will detect. So by that, it should be in a object that does the item collection, or does the picking up of the items. And with our game, that should be the player. So we'll go to our player object and then add the script there. So the pickup range, you can customize it whatever you want. So be it 2, 1. So I did set it to 0.01, but we'll go with 1 because I noticed that the pickup range is too wide. So 1 should be fine. So we're gonna move to UI and we will discuss that in the next video. So see you there.